What if the best way to plan your future is by examining what you hated in the past? What does this have to do with running? Everything, because this year is ending and next year is about to start, and I don't care for New Year's resolutions. So in the past, I would fear set and use stoicism. You could check that episode out somewhere around here to guide me into the following calendar year. Now I do something more manageable and arguably more violent. I conduct retrospective lookbacks. This is where I audit my calendar for the previous year and note all the meetings, appointments, workouts, races, and everything that I generally did. And the goal is to identify what I disliked, what drained me, and what I enjoyed, and what gave me energy. All right, and here are my things, numbers 30 through 43. There's actually a bonus, 3 extra things, because I've aged in the time it took me to write all this. If you want to watch the one on part 2, which is things, I think, 13 through 26 or something, I don't know the numbers, you could just go right here or the link in the show notes or video description if you're listening. Number 30, which is number 1 today, but number 30, never going harder than 87%. Volume or intensity is the best thing I could have done. Why? Simple, to give yourself a bit of insurance. Life always be lifing, and if you're constantly redlining day in and day out, life will always throw something at you and you won't have anything extra to give. Also, none of us are pro. Going 87% for 30 years is way cooler than going 105% for 30 days, burning out and never running again. I used to say, never go harder than 90%, but then I saw Jakob Ingebrigtsen say 87%, and I stole that. Number 2 or 31, never go more than 98% in a race. I'm not pro, and I'm sure you aren't either, even if you are. Maybe if you are pro, I'll let you get off the hook on this. This is a contentious one, and I'm sure some, if not half of the runners out there will disagree with me. Feel free to. For most races, I have a tiny bit left in the tank for the insurance. My main objective is to do this, whatever I'm doing, insert the thing, the race or whatever, the running, for as long as possible and as hard as possible throughout my life while maintaining balance. That means obeying one of the key 1% better laws: do not get injured, aka don't die. If you race so hard that you burn yourself out and metaphorically die, you possibly will have messed up the next few weeks or months of your training and your living because you went too hard in your race. But in that same breath, this is not a pass to slack off and not try. You know what 98% is. To run your best time in a race, you will have needed to put together many variables, not just one. Number 3 of this one, I don't even know the number is not 32, I think. Running gives me so many stories and metaphors to use in work and life. It's like the infinite well of stories. I'm constantly bombarding people close to me and clients on business strategy calls with run sayings and isms like, it's like a 5K race. Can't go out too fast or we'll blow up. It's like aerobic base. Takes a while, but doesn't go away. Or everyone's favorite, insert thing is like a marathon. Number 4, it takes years to become a smarter runner. I was saying for the last few years, since 2012, I've been researching, experimenting, and talking to experts, blah, blah, blah. When actually it's been since 1996. I was 14 or 15 years old, and I decided to start running 3 miles, 5 kilometers, 3 times a week so I could be a better basketball player. So that's almost 30 years of experience, mainly with my own fitness, health, body, but also researching and working with others. I think I finally got it. I might be able to last another 30, 40 years if I play my cards. Number 5, genetics play a big part in how fast you can run, but you still have to work at it. I won't belabor the whole, is running a skill or is it an effort debate, as I already did that at a video right here. But the more research and general observation I start to do around running faster, the more I'm convinced these elite runners are not trying any harder than the age group back of the pack runners. Their bodies can use oxygen at such an efficient rate that they are absolute economical beasts that use 50% less energy per step than us mortal amateur runners. They do work hard, but they may have been given and been born with a talent advantage. That's the beauty of all humans. We all have different talents, and that makes life fun. It's okay to be better at something than most and suck at something else more than others, like different race distances. Now, do you double down on your strengths or work on your weaknesses? That's the question that I still don't have an answer for, possibly later in the future. Future Darren here, and I won't do that thing. You know the thing where people go, hey, you should subscribe, rate, share, give a thumbs up, rah, rah, rah. Now, while I'd love for you to do that anyways, please go ahead and do it. The next steps will be for you to transform your running life with our free 1% Better Runner 30-day base training habits plan and newsletter. Unlike other running plans and newsletters, we do not do motivational quick fixes and hacks. Instead, we focus on long-term success that lasts from 30 days to 30 years and more. It's not just a training plan, but a mental shift. Think of it as your personal running therapist. Sign up for free at either dlatecreates.com/news, web search 1% Better Runner newsletter, or get the link in the show notes or video description below. All value, no fluff, cancel anytime. Let's get back into it. Number 6, performing better as I age is one of the best reasons to keep running. It's a never-ending goal. The age-graded adjusted times that Parkrun uses, it's so good. It's an algorithm that lets you compare your now self to your past self or younger others. I wish Strava, Garmin, and other tech companies where you upload all your workouts and data to did that with your stats in real time. It would allow you to have some nice data and metrics on how you're performing as you age instead of just accepting the decline and seeing it play out. You can go, oh wow, I'm still slightly faster than I was 20 years ago, age graded, but in my silly ambitious ways, I'm still trying to be as fast as my 20-year-old self by sprinting 200 and 400 meters as fast as possible. I will report back on that because right now my body is not happy with that new challenge. Number 7, the virtuous run cycle, which should be up here. And if you are listening, please go and watch this or go to the website, the blog post. The link is in the show notes. Staying an injury-free and healthy runner means you can run more, which means you can strength train, which means you feel amazing, and then you get faster. You get it. Rinse and repeat. So you get faster, injury-free, healthy runner, run more, strength train, feel amazing. That's the virtuous cycle, which leads to number 8, the vicious run cycle. And this is, again, visuals, much easier, but I'll explain it. It's an inverted virtuous run cycle. So you get sick, injured, start there, then you run less, then you don't strength train, then you feel like poop, you ultimately get unfit, and then you get slower, you get it. Rinse and repeat that one too. Number 9, off season is my favorite season, but then I crave the real season. I love running, and here in Sydney, Australia, the run season is the winter. But it's not that cold in Sydney, which means dark, cold mornings. It's still way colder than I would like. It's around 5 degrees Celsius, 40 degrees Fahrenheit, which when the sun is not out, that is cold. Not my favorite, but I embrace the suck. The off season is summer, which is my favorite. I then get 6 to 8 weeks in that off season to cross train my heart away. And I slowly start to miss the structure of training in the winter. It happens every year like clockwork. And I absolutely embrace it because everything is in a constant state of flux. Ebbs and flows, just go with it. Number 10, you should fit your running to your life and not your life to your running. That's not word salad, I promise. This is another contentious topic that everyone will have an opinion on, and you'll probably disagree with me. I think you live more life than you do run. Stay with me. Even if you wanted to run all the time and you were super fit and could handle volume, you still couldn't average more than 1 to 2 hours most days. Compared to the other 13 to 14 productive lucid waking hours that you have in your day, that's less than 13% of your whole day. Unless you're pro, running should always work around your life, unless you're getting paid for it, I should say. Please beware of the obsessive compulsive tendencies to overdo it on the run side of your life, like chasing perfectly round weekly run volume numbers. We all know those people. Number 11, staying healthy and fit is like keeping your hair looking nice. It's always growing and it's never ending grind to keep it neat, trimmed, and proper. That's your hair, if you value that sort of thing. And it's constantly changing, especially as you age, your hair. As David Goggins said, the work is never finished. You might crush it one day out on the road or the track or the trails running, but the next day you wake up, you check Strava, and if you don't work out that day, your fitness will go down. Everyone's seen that fitness and freshness score go down, or TSS or whatever it is on Training Peaks or whatever you see. That thing will go down. Garmin VO2 Max, that thing goes down if you don't work it. Number 12, running a marathon is cool, but it is not healthy. I'm all about pissing off some runners. So this is, yes, again, another, Darren, I don't know about that one, but hear me out. You can be healthy and not fit, but you can't be fit and not healthy and live a perfectly fine life. So healthy and not fit, fine. Fit and not healthy, not good. I'll bet this non-fit but super healthy life is probably boring without any running or stressors to stimulate you physically. But if you're fit and not healthy, your body will break down slowly and you will pay for it in the coming future. Example, marathon training destroys me. I can't show up properly for work and family life, and I'm constantly hungry and fatigued. I end up gaining weight because I'm eating so much, because I'm training a lot, and getting poor sleep because my cortisol is up and I'm waking up a million times in the middle of the night, going to the bathroom, and minor aches and pains turn into much bigger issues. The solution? Balance. I always strive for 50% healthy and 50% fit most of the year. I can sacrifice some health for more fitness, but it's usually in small bursts around key running races. Number 13, time always passes, especially when you break it down into periods, blocks, weeks, etc. 2 by 26 week blocks will go by in an absolute flash, just like life. If you cycle your training, you cycle through your training, it rarely gets old. So different types of diverse training blocks and periods, etc. Most runners I coach think 9 to 10 weeks is enough for a half marathon when I first start coaching them. And I'm like, I'd rather get, 16, 20, 24, 26 weeks with you to get proper base going. And then we can do like a little VO2 max build, etc., race build. they think I'm crazy. And then when we're 6 weeks out and they aren't hitting their time trials, they're like, oh yeah, Darren, I get why you wanted 20 weeks because it takes time to build that aerobic base. Number 14, consistency isn't 7 out of 10 effort for years on end. It's up and down, like drastically up and down. So there's a little visual on here that I'm showing what people think showing up daily means, and it's like you're always full. Your petrol tank, your gas tank, fuel tank is always full. You're just hitting it 100% or whatever, 75%, 80%. But what it actually means is it's 100% one day, 10% another day, 80% another day, 40% another day. You get it. Gains happen when you zoom out and stop living interval to interval. If you can stick with running consistently and injury-free for 1, 5, or even 10 years, you will turn into a beast of a runner. I've seen too many runners not really have a progressive and consistent process that leads to something. So they sit stagnant at the same race times, never getting faster or better, and unfortunately, never reaching their genetic potential. All right, and that is 43 things that I wish I knew when I first started running. What did I miss? What have you learned in the last X amount of time that you've ran? What was I wrong on? What do you disagree with? Tell me all that in the comments below, or you can DM me on Instagram, or you can email me, talk@dlightcreates.com. I want to hear it all. I'm totally open to it. Thanks for rocking with me. We'll keep this going. Peace. If you want to learn more about this topic, we went into further detail. You should go and check that out right here.